Fabrizio Romano's latest update has added yet another twist to an already complex summer transfer market involving Manchester United and Manchester City. The report indicates that Manchester City are now in contact to sign a player who is also a top Manchester United target, with the player's stance on a possible move now coming into sharper focus. This development comes in the midst of a summer that has been incredibly busy for Manchester United, both in terms of incomings and ongoing negotiations. Jason Wilcox, United's technical director, has been deeply involved in reshaping the squad to better reflect the vision of Erik Ten Hag, yet the club still has notable gaps to fill. After a 2024-25 campaign that laid bare United's attacking deficiencies, particularly in breaking down deep, disciplined defenses and sustaining pressure against top sides, it is no surprise that the bulk of United's spending so far has been directed at their front line. The Red Devils have committed significant sums to address this area, with 3 major attacking signings already secured: Matheus Cunha from Wolverhampton Wanderers for £62.5 million, Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford for £65 million, and Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig for £66 million. These additions represent a combined investment of nearly £200 million in the forward department alone, a figure that signals the club's intent to both increase creativity and improve the finishing prowess within the squad. Cunha's arrival is particularly notable for his versatility and high-energy style of play. Known for his intelligent movement, ability to drop into midfield, and knack for dragging defenders out of position, Cunha offers a profile that United have been missing. In recent years, he can function as a central striker or as a second striker in a two-man partnership, giving Ten Hag tactical flexibility. Bryan Mbeumo, meanwhile, brings Premier League-proven creativity and dynamism from wide areas. His time at Brentford saw him develop into one of the league's most underrated forwards, capable of not only scoring, but also supplying dangerous passes in the final third. Mbeumo's capacity to cut inside onto his stronger left foot, combined with his work rate in pressing, makes him a natural fit for Ten Hag's high-intensity demands. Benjamin Sesko, the towering Slovenian striker, represents perhaps the most exciting long-term investment, standing at 6 feet 5 inches with exceptional pace and technical ability. Sesko is viewed as a potential elite-level center-forward for the next decade, a modern hybrid of height, speed, and finishing ability that could give United a new dimension up. However, spending such a large sum on attacking reinforcements has inevitably drawn criticism from some quarters. Many observers point out that United's problems last season were not solely down to a lack of goals. The midfield lacked the balance and physicality to dominate big games, and defensive lapses, often stemming from poor transitions, were a recurring issue. United's pursuit of Brighton's Carlos Baleba highlights their awareness of these deeper structural issues. At just 21 years old, Baleba has emerged as one of the Premier League's most promising young midfielders, combining defensive solidity with an ability to carry the ball forward under pressure. Brighton's valuation of £112 million is undeniably steep, but United's unwillingness to walk away from negotiations suggests there is genuine optimism that a deal can be reached. The club sees Baleba not just as a midfielder for the present, but as a long-term anchor, capable of dictating play and providing the defensive shield that has been missing since the decline of Nemanja Matic's influence. The logic behind targeting Baleba is clear. His blend of physicality, ball-winning ability, and composure in possession would offer United a far more robust midfield platform. In games last season where they struggled, particularly against teams that could bypass their midfield with quick transitions, United were exposed. Baleba's presence would go a long way towards solving that. But even if United succeed in adding him, it is clear that their transfer business will not stop there. Another position firmly on the club's agenda is goalkeeper. This is where Fabrizio Romano's update intersects with another major storyline of the summer: the potential arrival of Gianluigi Donnarumma in the Premier League. On the surface, a new goalkeeper might not seem like an urgent priority for Manchester United. Andre Onana, signed from Inter Milan last summer, was brought in specifically for his world-class distribution and confidence under pressure. His early displays, however, were mixed. While there were moments where his ball-playing ability stood out, he also made a series of high-profile errors in both domestic and European competitions. The adaptation to Premier League pace and physicality has been challenging, and although Ten Hag still believes in Onana's potential to be one of the best in the world, the club has been quietly exploring options should the Cameroonian fail to find consistency this season. Among the names considered is Sen Lammens, a promising young Belgian goalkeeper currently at Club Brugge. Lammens has a strong reputation in youth international football, and his commanding presence in the box makes him an intriguing option for the future. Yet the headline-making development is the fact that Manchester City have now entered discussions regarding Gianluigi Donnarumma, a player who has long been admired by Manchester United's recruitment team. Donnarumma, currently at Paris Saint-Germain, remains one of the most highly regarded goalkeepers in the world. Despite facing criticism in recent years for lapses in concentration, his ability to make game-changing saves, his commanding reach, and his experience at the highest level despite being only 26 years old make him a rare asset. United had been monitoring the Italian as a potential replacement or competition for Onana, but with City now in contact, the landscape has shifted dramatically. The involvement of Manchester City complicates matters for United. Pep Guardiola's side already boasts one of the most complete squads in Europe, but Ederson's future has been subject to speculation amid reported interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia. Should Ederson leave, City would require a replacement of the highest caliber, and Donnarumma fits the bill perfectly. For United, the fear is not only missing out on a top target, but also having to face him multiple times a season in City colors. The player's stance will be pivotal in determining the outcome. Romano's report suggests Donnarumma is open to a move to the Premier League, though his preference between the two Manchester clubs remains unclear. Factors such as Champions League prospects, guaranteed playing time, and the competitive status of each squad will likely influence his decision. United's transfer strategy this summer appears to be one of calculated aggression by moving early. To secure high-value targets in attack, they have attempted to prevent being drawn into late-window bidding wars. However, the Donnarumma situation is a reminder that in modern football, rival clubs, especially direct competitors, are constantly monitoring the same talent pools. The psychological element of transfer battles cannot be underestimated. Signing a player ahead of a major rival is not just a sporting advantage, but also a symbolic statement of power. City's recent history in this area is instructive. Their successful moves for players like Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland were not just about strengthening their squad, but also about reinforcing their image as the most attractive destination in English football. For United, therefore, winning or losing this particular race for Donnarumma could have knock-on effects beyond the immediate position of goalkeeper. If United were to secure him, it would be seen as a statement of renewed competitiveness in the market. If they were to miss out, particularly to City, questions would once again be raised about their ability to close deals in the face of direct competition from their local rivals. The remainder of the summer promises to be equally intense, while the primary focus will remain on midfield and goalkeeper reinforcements. United are also keeping an eye on potential outgoings. The arrival of Bryan Mbeumo and Sesko has inevitably created questions about the futures of existing forwards like Anthony Martial, Jadon Sancho, and even Marcus Rashford, whose form has fluctuated over the past year. Player sales could be critical in balancing the books, especially after such heavy investment. The potential sale of fringe players, coupled with the revenue generated from loan fees, will influence how far United can push for big-money targets, like Baleba and Donnarumma. From Manchester City's perspective, their involvement in the Donnarumma talks is emblematic of a club that is always planning several steps ahead. Even if Ederson remains, City's recruitment philosophy has always been to ensure elite-level competition in every position. The opportunity to sign a player of Donnarumma's profile is rare, and the fact that it would simultaneously weaken a rival's recruitment ambitions makes the pursuit even more appealing. Guardiola's tactical setups rely heavily on goalkeepers who can contribute to the build-up play. And while Donnarumma